The Pamir Highway traverses through the Pamir Mountains, and our goal was to start in Osh, Kyrgyzstan and go all the way to Dushanbe in Tajikistan in 9 days. Also known as the M41, this continuous road goes through Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Afghanistan. We started in Osh and our goal for the day was to reach Tapar Kul, which was about 235 kilometers away.
We're just at our first stop. We had a little bit of a rough start. It took us really long to leave. I think we left around 11. We were supposed to leave at 9. And now we're at this monument and then hopefully we'll get back on the road and see some nice stuff.
The Pamir Highway is over 1,200 kilometers long and is known as the second highest highway in the world, reaching 4,655 meters in altitude at the Ep.1 pass. Due to the high altitude, it's important to take it slow and give your body the chance to acclimatize. We booked with the tour company in Osh and they helped us plan our itinerary day by day to make sure that we covered all of the sites that we wanted to see and have proper time to acclimatize. You don't want to do this on your own.
Looks like there's some kind of construction up there. There's a whole line of trucks and stuff and I really have to pee.
Me too.
Just a bunch of people standing on the side of the road. Hopefully this digging resolves soon. I see that truck moving. Maybe if we're lucky we'll get to go. We found a place to pee. Just went in a crevice over there. I mean, it's all open, but we stood in front of each other and there's like cars driving by, but I mean, it is what it is. We're in the middle of nowhere. We did our best. Kind of looks like the cars are starting to move. So maybe we won't have to wait much longer if we're lucky.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But it looks like quite a line has started to build up. All these cars all the way up there. But we'll see.
We quickly realized why there had been such a long line. There was construction going on and honestly I'm surprised they even let us drive through, but I was super grateful because who knows how many hours other people had to wait. There was such a long line of trucks ahead of us and behind us, so being in the car had a great advantage. The best time to visit the Pamir Highway is mid-June to the end of September to ensure that you have the best weather. We went right at the beginning of August and it was perfect. Make sure you bring warm clothes though because it does get cold at high altitudes.
We stopped quickly for lunch because the driver was hungry, but we brought a lot of snacks, so we're good. So he's just eating. There's like all this wavy grass behind me, which is really nice. And we're getting closer to the mountain, so it is getting cooler, which is really refreshing, I would say, and exciting to see what the rest of the day will look like.
One thing that I will recommend is to bring as much sun protection as you can, sunscreen, sunglasses, and a hat. You will be in the sun for a lot of the journey because it is a lot of flat roads with no shade. You will be spending a minimum of 4 to 5 hours in the car each day, so you really want to be protected from the sun. They also told us that there would be air conditioning in the car, but there was no AC throughout the whole journey. Although we were really close to the border, we spent the first night in Kyrgyzstan, so make sure that you have a little bit of Kyrgyzstan with you because you do need to pay for the first yurt stay in Som.
We arrived at our first yurt camp of the day and we're staying next to this really beautiful lake just over there. There's so many yurts, so many horses, so many cows. It's so nice to be here in nature, and the mountains are behind us too, which is insane with the snow. Yeah! So we're really excited to be here. We negotiated our price for the yurt. Up to you if you want to try. I recommend that you do and save a little bit of money. We have dinner at 7:30 and we're just gonna go enjoy the lake, take some pictures and videos, and then eat dinner and go to sleep.
Another thing that I can't stress enough for this tour is to hire a driver. You need a 4-wheel drive car. The roads are very difficult to navigate. Most of the tour you won't even have service until you reach Dushanbe in Tajikistan at the very end. So having someone that speaks the language, understands the culture, and knows where to go is a huge help and takes off the stress. We couldn't have done it without Sally.
I wanted to watch sunset by the camp, or sorry, by the lake. It's way too freaking cold.
It's a hard no.
So windy. My hands are frozen. We're walking back. We're staying at the camp that's just behind the hill, so it should be protected from the wind and not as cold, but it is freezing. Way colder than when we got here.
After a long day of driving, it was nice to go warm up in the yurt. They actually had the fire going. That's how cold it gets in the evening. And we enjoyed our dinner with the other groups. You'll be eating a lot of similar foods. They're really big on buckwheat and hearty stews. Christina is also vegetarian and they were able to accommodate for her.
We left our bags in the yurt and they decided to come in and light the fire, but someone's bag was on the fireplace and now there's literally plastic burning on this fireplace, filling everything up. It's so bad. And this is the bag.
I felt so bad that June had a giant hole burned into his new Osprey backpack, but that's part of the travel adventure. The next morning, we woke up early and packed our bags to prepare for the day. We were crossing the border into Tajikistan. We were headed towards the small town of Murghab, which was 291 kilometers away and expected to take around 8 to 9 hours of driving. Make sure that you have your permits sorted in advance. Your tour organization can do this for you, and you'll need it along the Pamir Highway tour, and there will be multiple stops, so they'll check it.
We're super lucky. We stopped here for lunch yesterday. We didn't eat anything, but one of the people in our group did. And we're so lucky we came back because he couldn't find his wallet, and his wallet was here and all of the money and all of his cards were inside. So it was a little bit of a rough morning, and it was also his bag yesterday that got burned by the fire, but I'm so happy that we found his wallet and all of his money is in there because we have to cross the border into Tajikistan today. So it's been a wild ride, but things are turning up.
Crossing the border into Tajikistan was actually quite easy and smooth. I suspect having our driver Sally with us helped a lot because he's from Tajikistan, but the soldiers at the 2 checkpoints were also very friendly as well. Some people that I talked to that went alone on their motorbike got stuck at the border for a few hours, so just keep that in mind.
We're at Tapar Kul Lake. It's super beautiful. The water is shining, glistening. You can see all the mountains in the background. It's super nice. The driver stopped Sally to let us take pictures for 5 minutes. I can't believe it's a real place.
From this point on, we were quickly beginning to gain elevation, and I'm the kind of person that really feels it. Everybody else in the group was fine, but altitude has always bothered me for some reason. So by the time we reached the highest point at 4,655 meters, my head was pounding. I was also feeling very nauseous, but I think it's quite normal, especially since we had such a quick elevation gain over such a short period of time. There's no need to worry though, because after this you'll just be losing elevation. Now let me share with you the biggest and most important tip that I received before this tour that really helped me. Bring as much bottled water as you can, enough to last you the entire tour. I myself was skeptical when I heard this piece of advice, but we did head to the supermarket the day of the tour and picked up a bunch of 5-liter jugs of water, and it ended up being the most important thing that we brought. The yurts and homestays will provide you with tea but not drinking water, and we didn't see a single place to buy water until our 6th day when we reached Korog. We talked to other groups that weren't aware of the lack of water, and the only thing that they could find were juices and fizzy soda pops that they have to live off for days at a time. So if there's one takeaway from this video, please bring lots of water and stay hydrated. Our second night we spent at a homestay in Murghab, and the rooms and washrooms were in excellent condition, but there really wasn't that much to do in this town. Our initial itinerary wanted us to spend 2 nights here, but after arriving we decided just to spend 1 night and move along, and I think that this was the right decision. There are towns that we enjoyed much more along our itinerary where it was worth to stay the extra night and give the driver a break. So if you're unsure about Murghab, I would definitely recommend staying there just for the 1 night and spend the second one somewhere else. On the 3rd day, our goal was to go to Langar, which was 280 kilometers away, and the estimated driving time was about 6 to 7 hours. We had to do an emergency stop early in the day so that Sally could go to the washroom, but it was really interesting to see this lady's house, and the views were stunning. It felt like I had entered another period of time. Another thing that I found interesting is that a lot of people actually cycle along the Pamir Highway. Kudos to them for cycling over very long distances in the sun in the middle of nowhere. This lake was probably one of my favorite pit stops along the Pamir Highway.
Look how blue the water is!
It was so clear I felt like you could see all the way to the bottom. Similar to Mongolia, our driver had maybe 1 CD in his car with about 10 songs, and we listened to that CD every single day for 9 days on repeat. Every time I listen to those songs, it brings back memories of the tour. I will also say it was extremely windy for the first 3 days, maybe because we were at higher altitude, but all of my audio was completely unusable due to the wind. The terrain was getting rougher and rockier, but Sally was handling it like a champ, driving as if it was the easiest thing in the world, and that let us enjoy the views even when we were driving through rivers like this. The further we went, the more beautiful the landscapes got. What will the rest of the Pamir Highway tour bring? You'll have to stay tuned for part 2, so don't forget to like and subscribe.